I just give so much credit to the Vietnam era veterans because, you know, they had the same kind of war that my generation had. The enemy blended in, there was no clear line to victory, and your country asked you to go, so you signed up and you went and you did your job. I believe that the Vietnam veterans made it possible for me to come back to a supportive nation.
He's the loss of a lot of friends and grateful to survive.
Tell my family I love them.
Yeah.
Those are his last words.
We had Vietnam veterans that would come to the hospital, and they had veterans there that were triple amputees and double amputees and single leg amputees, and they gave me that hope and that inspiration and that drive to keep pushing forward.
The wall that we have here is a 3/4 scale replica of the Vietnam Memorial Wall in Washington, D.C. Back in 1979, there was a former Army rifleman by the name of Jan Scruggs. It was his idea. He wanted a way to honor the 58,281 service members that paid the ultimate sacrifice, who were either killed or missing in action. But not everyone is able to go to Washington, so that we built the wall that heals. And that's how it came about.
I have a couple of friends that are on that wall.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They're in 69.
Yeah, I see the hat. Well, thanks for your service, of course. Everything going all right today?
Doing great. It's great for you guys to bring this up. I've always wanted to meet you because I so respect you.
Oh, come on. This is a regular everyday guy. I had a bad day at work, but I appreciate that. I think they're making me go, we got to go this way is what they're telling me, sir. But thank you.
When our troops came home from Vietnam, they were totally not honored the way they should have been. They didn't have the handshakes and the hugs. They didn't have the parades because there were a lot of protests going on against the war and against those who went to fight the war.
Yeah. How's it going today?
It's going good.
Yeah.
Going good. Kind of sad, but all right.
What does this wall mean to you, sir?
Well, he's the loss of a lot of friends and grateful to survive. It means a lot to have the support of Legion, town of Farmington, all these nice folks that volunteer their time. It means a lot. It means everything. You know, I'll tell you, I just look upon the American public's attitude at the time was terrible, you know. And the way I look at it, they made a mistake. You know, it was just wrong. And I forgive them for making a mistake because they can't hold on to that anger, you know, and hatred for the people that I was supposedly protecting. But I forgive them, and life goes on for all of us. All right.
Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, good to see you, brother.
I got to go up.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and privilege to present to you Staff Sergeant Travis Mills.
Thanks so much, appreciate it. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I was wondering, how can I honor Vietnam vets by not being a Vietnam vet? Because the truth is, I'm not a Vietnam veteran. Although, I will say sometimes I get mistaken for being a Vietnam veteran, which makes it feel different. Two things. One, I'm like, man, what an honor to be put in the same category with those war fighters. And then I think I probably need better eye cream because I'm only 38. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of hurts my feelings just a little bit, but not in a bad way. But no, I'm excited to be here. And when I talked to Joe about this and he said the wall was coming at the Vietnam Veterans Breakfast that the foundation puts on, I was excited. He said, hey, can you come there? I said, yep, it's going on my calendar now. Nothing's going to get in the way. And here's the thing, okay? I'm sure a lot of you know my story, right? In Afghanistan, I was like, man, 20 years sounds like a long time to retire, so I figured I would just find a way to early retirement. I did. I just kind of walked into it, you know? And no, it was weird. I fell apart in my last job, to be honest with you. And I know. I was cut off at the knees at 25. But here's the thing. While I was, you know, in the Army, it was one of the greatest things ever. I got to join a brotherhood. And anywhere that I went, in a sisterhood, brotherhood and sisterhood, anywhere I went, people that had served, no matter what branch, you had an instant connection. And I just give so much credit to the Vietnam era veterans because, you know, they had the same kind of war that my generation had. The enemy blended in, there was no clear line to victory, and your country asked you to go, so you signed up and you went and you did your job. When I was over in Afghanistan on my 3rd deployment, I put my backpack on the ground, came to a short halt, and when my back hit the ground, a bomb went off underneath it, and it made me become a quadruple amputee. And the worst day of my life, ladies and gentlemen, was actually not that day. It wasn't the day I got injured. Because 4 days after my injury, when I woke up in the hospital, on my 25th birthday, I had to realize my life was changed forever. And that was the worst day of my whole entire life because I had to sit there and play the what if game. What if I didn't do this? What if I didn't do that? And then I had to find out, how can I make this not be my situation? And a big question I had all the time was, why didn't I just die? And through my recovery process, I was able to be shown that I would be able to walk again. I'd be able to have a prosthetic hand again. And I would actually have cooler tricks than I had before. I might not snap my fingers, but I can do this. I know, I can do this. I can go the other way. Whoa, what? But along the way on the road to recovery, it was 19 months of recovery at Walter Reed. 19 months where I had to relearn everything. And I had to try to figure out, how am I going to do this? Well, you see, ladies and gentlemen, we had Vietnam veterans that would come to the hospital. Some were there every day, and they would sit and talk with us as we went to rehab. We'd tell stories, go over, our life goals. And there would also be guys that came in, monthly or every 3 months or 6 months. And they had veterans there that were triple amputees and double amputees and single-leg amputees that were from the Vietnam era, and they said, hey, you are going to be fine. Life's different, but you are going to be okay. And they gave me that hope and that inspiration and that drive to keep pushing forward. Because I knew that if they could do it back in the 60s and 70s, I should be able to do it now in the 2000s. So I worked every day to recover. I worked every day to try to give myself a chance at a better life and not let the doubt creep in of like, how is this going to be possible? And after 19 months, I was able to retire. And when I retired, I had to find my new purpose and my new direction. And my new purpose and direction was going to be to give back, because those Vietnam veterans were there every day helping me, showing me techniques how to walk, showing me how to use a prosthetic hand, showing me that life is possible. So I started the Travis Mills Foundation, and I'm not from Maine. I want you guys to know, in case you guys are wondering if I'm from here, I'm not. My wife is. And when I said, hey, let's go to Michigan, where I'm from, she said no. And then the second time I said it, she took my arm off and hit me with it. And she said, stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. And it was a loophole, but that's how I moved to Maine. And then now when I get in an argument, she doesn't hit me anymore with my own arm, but she does take my arms and legs away and put me in the closet. And she won't let me out until I decide that I'll agree with what she said. But the thing is, Maine's been absolutely great to me. And my foundation started with giving back to veterans that were like me, that had been through a physical disability due to service. But always in the back of my mind, I wanted to do something for Vietnam era veterans. Because you see, I believe that the Vietnam veterans made it possible for me to come back to a supportive nation. I can't change what happened to the veterans from Vietnam that came back and how they were treated. I can't. I wasn't there. But I know that they told everybody, if you don't support the war, at least support the troops, and made it so everybody was there for us. And I can't thank the Vietnam veterans and their families enough for that, because that meant the world that I had the nation's support when I got back after being injured. And I know that Joe didn't get that. And I know that other people in this crowd did not get that love and support that they deserved. So from a very thankful and proud veteran and American, I want to say welcome home, and thank you for your service to all the Vietnam era veterans here. So round of applause. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, I am so lucky to live where I live and be a part of this wonderful nation. I want to tell the town of Farmington, job well done putting this all together. But ladies and gentlemen, I don't find myself feeling like I'm special, that I served anymore, I did anything more heroic or brave than anybody else that did serve. I didn't go out there and do anything extra. I just did my job. And that's all the country asked of me, and that's all my men could ask for me, and that's all I wanted to do. So for those that did serve, I want you to know that I truly am grateful. And I want you to tell you that you did a great job. You did exactly what this country asked you to do. And the sacrifices that were made are right here behind me on this wall. There's over 58,000 names up here of loved ones that were lost, POW, MIA. And the fact that this wall gets to travel around to different towns and get to be recognized is just amazing to me, that we can honor those veterans, their families, and their sacrifice. So let us never forget the price of freedom and the cost of war. I thank you guys so much for allowing me to be here today. I'm going to be around to hang out and shake hands, but make sure you take your time to walk and read the names, honor their sacrifice and the loss that they had to endure for us to live in a nation that is so great. Hope everybody has a wonderful 4th of July. And I just want to say once again to the town, to the Legion, to all the volunteers, to Joe and Beth for having me. I'm just so honored and grateful to be here. And damn it, welcome home. Welcome home. I love you guys. Have a great night, guys. Thank you so much.
He looked right up at me. He said, "You gotta make me a promise. Tell my family I love them."
Yeah.
Those are his last words. And 56 years later,
Yeah.
what was it, a month ago? I found his family. I flew out to Indiana
Wow.
and told them
Yeah.
exactly what happened. But his obituary was all wrong.
Wow.
But
That's amazing.
I did it.
Yeah. And sometimes that's what.
They couldn't believe that I did it.
Yeah, but you know, it's those moments at the very end that, you know, that they're probably thankful that you were there to comfort. You know, it's a weird thing, right? War's a funny thing.